So this is my Bible, and
Mhm.
there's nothing, there's nothing new, But it's.
Mhm.
I was reading, I was reading Psalms. Yeah. Okay, it's one of the books in the Old Testament. It's
Mhm.
these were prayers. It's like the prayers of King David. Yeah. And it was the wisdom of the time put into a prayer. And these prayers are recorded in the book of Psalms in the Old Testament. Yeah.
Mhm.
And this is Psalm 1. Okay, this is the first Psalm of the
Mhm.
Old Testament.
Mhm.
Um, and it's short, but just I'm going to read a bit. Just listen and think. Listen and think about this,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Psalm 1. And we're going back in time 1,500 years, okay?
Mhm.
We're time traveling here
Mhm.
to the words. And it's probably much older than that, but that's when it was written down. So, blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly. So, blessed blessed is the man who does not listen
Mhm.
to the devil, who does not walk
Mhm.
with the
Mhm.
ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. So, it's like rising above. It's 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 saying do not engage, do not confront, do not
Mhm.
just don't be on that level. Like if people want to communicate with you about something bad that's happening, you have to go to the next level.
Mhm.
And that's only the first line, okay?
Mhm.
But his delight, meaning the delight of the blessed man, is in the law of the Lord, and in his law does he meditate day and night. Now, because it's the Old Testament, it's about law. Okay, it's about
Läppen.
yeah, it's about the laws of God
Mhm.
because it's the Old Testament.
Läppen. Mhm.
The blessed man shall be like a tree planted by rivers of water, that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaf shall not wither, his leaf shall not die, and whatsoever he does shall prosper. Everything he does will be successful. So, um, saying that if the man is good, then he will be given opportunity to to do more, basically. The ungodly are not so. They are not like this. It is not telling us anything new, right? It's not telling us anything that we don't already know about
Mhm.
what it is to be good. And then the next book after the book of Psalms is the book of Proverbs. It's just like good advice, really. It's just like good advice, basically. That's what it means.
Mhm.
Um, and this is the first part of Proverbs. I'll just read you like 2 lines. Okay, this is in the first page of Proverbs.
Mhm.
Fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. So a foolish person will hate wisdom and instruction. They will never learn. Because because the fool is an ideologue a lot of the time who always wants to correct everyone and everything because they see everything as wrong. It says that here. But my son, hear the instruction of the Father. My son, if sinners entice thee, if sinners try to get you to do something bad,
Mhm.
consent thou not. It's consent thou not. Do not consent. Do not agree. Do not agree. Consent not. And this is the fundamental rule
Mhm.
to solve every problem that exists across society today.
Mhm.
It's in Proverbs 1. Consent thou not. You must say, I do not consent. I do not agree. It is a law of God
Mhm. Mhm.
that if something bad is happening, you must say, I do not agree with it. You
Mhm.
can accept it,
Mhm.
which means if you say to me, I want to kill you, then I accept that. It's your opinion. You are free to have your opinion. I accept it, but I don't agree with it. My
Mhm.
opinion is different from your opinion.
Mhm. Mhm.
I have a right under the laws of God to accept but not agree. And it says it very strongly here because it says, if sinners say, come with us, let us lie in wait for blood, let us lurk privily for the innocent without cause. It's saying if we kill people, if we plan, it's saying if if people try to get you to be involved in their crimes, in killing people, say I consent not. And it's in the first chapter of Proverbs. Okay, it's in the first chapter.
Mhm.
Consent thou not. Consent thou not. And it's an order or command of God that when somebody is doing something bad, you must not accept it. You must not accept it. And there's nothing anybody can do because it's your opinion. You have a right to disagree. Because if you don't have that right to disagree, then you can't. No, nothing can progress. Nothing can be better.
Mhm.
Yeah, and people only understand half of this because you hear what other people say. I don't mean you personally. I'm talking about what a lot of people are experiencing right now. You hear what other people say, and you accept it. You allow other people to have their opinion. You're like, it's a free society. It's a free world. You can have your opinion, but they forget to disagree with it. They don't do the second part. They
Mhm.
accept it, but
Mhm.
they don't. They they are dominated by the opinions of others, and they place their own opinion underneath the opinions of others. And in your life, your opinion must rise above that. Your opinion must be on top.
Mhm.
Because if you accept somebody else's opinion over yours, then you're accepting their life and their experience over yours, and they dominate over you.
Mhm.
And so, if you want any kind of freedom in your life, you have to say, I accept it, but I don't agree with it.
Mhm.
And then you can move on because there's nothing anybody can do to change who you are inside your head. Really, there's no. I mean, they can get, and then you get to see, then you get the aggression and the domination and the violence and the anger that happens with people who don't get what they want.
Mhm.
But then you get to see reality. You
Mhm.
get to see what is real. And people are taught to, be fair across society. Everybody's opinion matters. Yes, everybody's opinion matters to them. Doesn't fucking matter to me.
Mhm.
The opinion of someone I don't know is not important to me. What's important to me is my opinion and my experience.
Mhm.
I respect and accept
Mhm.
that other people's opinion and experience is going to be as different as mine.
Mhm.
I expect that to be the case. But I can't let that dominate over me because then I will live my life constantly following other people's ideals, which is their ideals. They're not my ideals. They're their ideals.
Mhm.
It's not going to work out very
Yeah.
well in most cases. Um, and so if everyone in Austria or everyone in Germany or everyone in the Czech Republic all stood up and said, we accept what you say, but we just
Mhm.
don't agree with it.
Mhm.
It's over. It's over.
Mhm.
And the job of the churches is to teach this to people who don't know it and to remind people who should know better that this is
Mhm.
the right way to go forward.
Mhm.
And they're not doing it because they're not they're not following the words.
Mhm.
They're not following the words
Yeah. Mhm.
because there's nothing. There's no problem that's new today. None of the problems we face today are.
Mhm.
It's so deep. It's incredible. See, so it took me 46 years to get this far. Okay, it took me 46 years to get this far. This is, and this is just the beginning, right?
Mhm.
It took me 46 years to get to the start, right? And then I forgot what I was going to look at. There was another example in the book of Matthew
Mhm.
about the simplicity of the teachings of Christ that can help us to get to the other side. Oh yeah, I know what it was. It was about Herod. Hold on.
Mhm.
Uh, okay, so and this is relevant because Christmas is coming, right? And it's always coming,
Mhm.
right? So Christmas is coming, and people should get their head around, get their focus on the what
Mhm.
happened around the birth of Christ, yeah.
Mhm.
And so Herod was king of the lands. I mean, he was working for the Romans, but
Mhm.
he was a subject of the Roman system, but he was a and Herod and Herod's family were tyrants. They were evil people. Yeah, they were
Mhm.
ruled
Mhm.
by not even by law, just by force. Yeah, and see, When Herod saw that he was mocked of the wise men, Herod was exceedingly wroth, and sent forth and slew all the children that were in Bethlehem. Okay.
Mhm.
Herod killed all the children.
Mhm. Mhm.
You think that's not going to happen again?
Mhm.
All right. You think there's anything that's happened before that's not going to repeat? Yeah. Not only did he kill all the children in Bethlehem,
Mhm.
but he killed all the children in all the coastal towns that were, it says here, and in all the coasts thereof from 2 years old and under.
Mhm.
So in all the coastal towns, all the children that were from 0 to
Mhm.
2
Mhm. Two. Mhm.
were killed. Right. It's coming.
Mhm.
It's coming.
Mhm.
Right. We live in a different time, but we have the same problems.
Mhm.
Right. And this is where when you face a difficult situation, where do you go? Where do you look? Where do you start?
Mhm.
You've got to start with those that have successfully achieved something. And the greatest example of the successful achievement of something in Western culture is the figure of Christ
Mhm.
and the influence of Christ. And then when you look at society and you say there's all these problems, there's all this corruption, there's all this,
Mhm.
then then if you're smart, you realize it's nothing new, right? It's nothing new. You think that the rich elites of the past didn't have special advantages and take holidays and live lavish lifestyles, and
Mhm.
it's nothing new.
Nothing. Mhm.
Yeah, taxes, taxes,
Mhm.
taxes. That's what the Chris. That's that's the basis of the
Mhm.
Christmas story, right? Is taxation
Mhm.
is the basis of the
Yeah.
Christmas story.
Mhm. Mhm. Yes, of course.
Um, and what we're faced with a society with rising prices. Why are prices rising?
Mhm.
Um, taxation is
Mhm.
part of that. Devaluation of currency is also another element there, and the lack of freedoms thereof, and the lack of a self-regulating free market. But
Mhm.
which is another example of the fact that control doesn't work. Yeah. Uh, but there are solutions to the problems. They already exist. The solution already exists to every problem.
Mhm.
But you have to know where to look. You think of the world as a library,
Mhm.
and it's full of information or books or whatever, right?
Mhm.
The books
Mhm.
contain information, and when you find the right book, then you
Mhm.
will get some information that will help you.
Mhm.
But the, the book doesn't come to you, right?
Mhm.
Usually, I mean, you might get a friend who sends a book to you. I mean, yeah, it might be a good thing,
Mhm.
right? You might find it by happy chance or accident, but that's about putting yourself in the right place at the right time. you're not gonna find the right book if you're not in the right library, right? You've got to put yourself in the
Mhm.
right place.
Totally.
You've got to know where to look. You have to know where to look. And the word Bible means
Book.
library. It means library
Mhm.
because the Bible is the 66 books, right?
Mhm.
So I think it's 66. um, I hope it's 66, right? Um, so it seems like a very good place to start.
Mhm.
It's probably not the place where you want to finish, but you probably want to
Mm.
take the ideas out of there and start with those ideas. So when you have a problem that's so big that, oh, we don't know where to start, I think that
Mhm.
you've got to start somewhere, right? I mean, every
Agree.
project, everything, like when you build a business, it's like if you look at all the things you have to do, it's like, oh my God, right?
Mhm.
But you start with one thing on Monday and then do something
Mhm.
else on Tuesday and then something else on Wednesday and
Mhm.
something else on Thursday and something else on Friday and you build, 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 build. And over time, these small steps make
Mhm.
big differences, hopefully.
Mhm.
Um, hopefully. So, when that's my answer to the question that is, when you can't do anything, what do you do? Right?
Mhm.
When
Mhm.
you can't do anything, what do you do? Well, you go back to the beginning
Mhm.
and you think again about everything.
Mhm.
And with this knowledge that if you put yourself into a position of opportunity, which is putting yourself in between the greatest minds in history,
Mhm.
people who were hopefully much smarter than us, maybe
Mhm.
people who had less distractions, right?
Oh, mhm.
Because there's so much going on over here and over there and
Mhm.
up there and down there, and yeah, for sure that there were things going on in the past, but I think that people got more focused about certain problems, and life was harder
Mhm.
in many ways. Um, there began the ideas or the process of solving those problems. Yeah, bringing Moses had to solve the problem of bringing law to a lawless people. There was a society with no laws and no rules, and he had to
Mhm.
create a system for them.
That's what I. Mhm.
Then, thousands of years later, comes Jesus, who gives the next level of systems and
Mhm.
a personal representation of ideas.
Mhm.
And I think the time is right. It's always right, I think, to start thinking about where does this evolve to next.
Mhm.
That in order to solve problems, we have to first get the basics right.
Mhm.
Right? That the future is not going to be great if we don't
Mhm.
understand all the lessons of the
Mhm.
past.
Mhm. Yeah.
Um, if we get, if we don't have self-control,
Mhm.
we don't have any control. And with self-control, we can start to say, I accept that, but I don't agree with it.